pages later and here we are. The Alchemist, written by Paulo Coelho, published 1988. The Alchemist is an allegorical tale of a young man who chose to be a shepherd instead of a priest, because he loved the idea of not being tied down. The young man, Santiago, an Andalusian shepherd, has a recurring dream while sleeping under a sycamore tree. He dreams he is in a field with his sheep when a kid starts to play with them. The kid takes Santiago's hands, they teleport to the pyramids in Egypt. The kid tells Santiago he will find treasure near them. When the kid begins to say the exact location of treasure, Santiago wakes up. He follows the interpretation of his dream to the pyramids. It's his personal quest, or as he calls it, his personal legend. There are a few important people Santiago meets along his journey that help him fulfill his personal legend. Here they are. The gypsy. After having the dream, he asks a gypsy woman what it means. Pointing to the obvious, she says the dream means he's going to find treasure in Egypt. A king, Melchizedek, the king of Salem, who tells him to sell his sheep and travel to the pyramids, encouraging Santiago to follow the omens from God during his quest. Santiago listens. His travels from Spain to Tangier are plagued by a travel buddy he meets along the way who steals all his sheep money. The crystal merchant. Santiago, broke and dejected in Tangier, meets the owner of a crystal shop. Santiago works with the merchant so he can save up money so he can continue his journey. The merchant is complacent, not taking pride in business and not doing more in his life. Santiago pushes him to see that dreams are meant to be fulfilled. Next he meets the Englishman, who wants to learn about alchemy. He has only read about it, LSD, looking for a skilled alchemist to study with in person. He heard of one over 200 years old, who is able to turn metal into gold, whom he is seeking out. They travel together. They go to the middle of a desert oasis where the alchemist is believed to be. In the oasis he meets an Arabian girl, Fatima. He falls in love. He asks her to marry him. She says she will only after he completes his journey. Then he meets the alchemist. After Santiago sees hawks fighting in the sky, he realizes they're a symbol of impending war. He warns the oasis chief. After Santiago shares what is coming to the oasis, war and battle, the alchemist chooses to help him on his journey, because he feels Santiago is in tune with the language of the world. He pushes Santiago to find his true self, having him look inward and focusing on being one with himself. To continue his journey to the pyramids, he has to pass through the warring tribes outside of the oasis. To do this, Santiago has to prove his oneness with himself by becoming a sandstorm. Literally. He eventually ends up at the pyramids where he starts digging and then gets robbed. Again. He tells the robbers why he is digging, his dream. One of the robbers tells him of a similar dream he had, but the treasure is buried by an old church in Spain where shepherds rest their sheep. Santiago is shook, he doesn't say anything. Irony being the treasure is actually where he started. He had to experience life betrayals, failures, fear, love, self-awareness, etc. to appreciate the treasure, which he found after he traveled to Egypt and got robbed by a man who never followed his own personal legend. Spoiler alert. Santiago does make it back to the tree. He digs up the treasure. Thanks for watching another Pages Later production. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe.